Hi, this is Cindy O'Meara from Changing Habits, and in front of me I have a package of Einkorn. So what is Einkorn? Einkorn is the ancient grain of wheat. So it's probably around 6,000 years old, maybe even more. Probably hunter-gatherers did use it, but they used it more in a slurry or a porridge as opposed to making bread. It wasn't until the agricultural revolution that they started to use it making bread. So as you can see, it is a flour, but it differs very much from the modern wheat. So our modern wheat since the 1980s has been hybridized. And if you've noticed, there's been a lot of people that have had wheat and gluten issues. So I wanted to find out something that was our traditional wheat, rather than had been manipulated by technology and industry and by human hands. I wanted a nature-based one. So the difference is that this actually has a far smaller chromosome count than our modern wheat. So this has a chromosome count of 14, our modern wheat has a chromosome count of 42. So why is that of any significance? Number one, the gluten content is different, and number two, the sugar or the amylopectin, which is the carbohydrate content, is very different. And what's amazing is that if you look at a chromosome, it has genes on it, and these genes will transcribe for different things. And what's interesting between modern wheat and Einkorn is that where gluten comes from and where the sugar comes from actually comes from different genomes on this Einkorn as opposed to wheat. So how does that then make anything different? Well, the gluten is different and the sugar content is different. Number one, the GI of modern wheat, which is the glycemic index, which means how much does it push your sugar levels up in your blood and therefore release insulin. In modern wheat, it's between 69 and say 72, the GI, which means it's quite high. With Einkorn, it has a GI of 45, which is quite significantly less. Now, can someone with celiacs eat this or have Einkorn? No, it still has gluten in it. And if you have a gluten intolerance, it's not something that I advise. Although there is testing done that celiacs and people with gluten intolerance seem to be able to tolerate this one better. But I don't suggest it at this point. What I do suggest though is this is a flour for the mother that wants to bring her children up on non-hybridized, non-genetically modified whole foods and wants to make breads from an ancient wheat or an heirloom wheat, wants to make cakes and wants to make all the foods that we make with wheat, wants to make it with the ancient grain that our ancestors would have made it. See, our bodies are evolutionary. We have to eat our evolutionary foods. It's that mismatch between these Neolithic foods, which are these hybridized, genetically modified, changed foods, that is causing real health issues that we have today. You can use Einkorn very similar to wheat. It does take a different amount of water, so you just have to do a little bit of readjusting, but not much to most of your recipes. We do have some recipes on the Changing Habits website, so make sure you go there, click on the store, then click on Einkorn and you'll see some recipes in there and on some on YouTube. We just love the Einkorn. We're very happy that Changing Habits has gone to the effort of looking for this ethical, sustainable and organic food. And welcome to the world of Einkorn, and enjoy cooking with Einkorn, and make sure you give us some feedback on what you've made. If you've come up with some great recipes, we would love to see that. So happy changing habits, everybody.